We are Rachel and Joe. We love adventure, exploring, boondocking, wildlife, the outdoors, hiking, birding, traveling, and immersing ourselves in nature. The idea of living in the moment without a care in the world has driven us to make this lifestyle a reality. Our dream is to live without commitments or schedules. We are working hard to be able to live this life full-time in the future, but for now, we are living it every chance we get. In our last video, we were at the Selleck Recreation Area in the Manistee National Forest, where we spent 3 days exploring and relaxing. This week, we headed about 20 minutes further west to the Nordhouse Dunes Wilderness Area, also in the Manistee National Forest, off of Green Road, site number 4. We arrived after dark, so we took the first site that looked like it made sense. The next morning, Joe got the fire started early because the mosquitoes were terrible. For breakfast, we made a caramel apple croissant in our camping oven, and it was delish. We then decided to hike the Nordhouse Dunes Trail, which had a $5 per vehicle per day use fee. This trail is very sandy in some areas. It's kind of hard to tell, but on the left side of the trail, it's very dark and gloomy, but on the right side of the trail, it's very light, bright, and has a totally different vibe. It is such a beautiful day, and it's such beautiful scenery. It just amazes me that no one else is here. Clumps of bees were everywhere. What is going on? We had to empty out our shoes before we headed back to the truck. And he is just the cutest with his little rock collection. I would definitely do this trail again. It was about 3 miles round trip, and it took us just over 2 hours, and that is with time spent down by the lake. Joe made another fire when we returned to help with the mosquitoes. I got Brian ready to take a walk, and then Joe prepared some pork chops, rice, and some better cheddar sausages. We brought Alice again. We don't have to give her IV fluids anymore, but she still needs some extra attention and seems to be perfectly content. We are going to show you about 12.5 free camping spots on a 2-mile stretch of Green Road. Site number 1 is small and good for tent or car and or van camping. Site number 2 is quite large. I think any size rig would be able to fit in here. This is the entrance to site number 3. You can't really tell, but this is a pretty steep incline. Site number 3 is small and also good for just tent, car, or van camping. There are a couple spots back in that area that you can tell people have camped at, but there is a camping boundary sign on the ground here that says no camping beyond this sign. We'll just do a quick ride through site number 4, which is our site. We have an 18-foot camper and a truck, and it fits us just fine. And it's completely level. We didn't have to do any leveling, and it's completely pull through. We're pulling up to site number 5 now. Number 5 is my favorite site. It is huge. If we would arrive during the daylight, we would have ended up at this site. It's in the sun, surrounded by all the trees. It's just really, really nice. This is site number 6. I don't think I would pull anything large in this area. A very small trailer, tent, car, or a van. This is site number 7. I imagine any size rig would fit here. Site number 8 kind of winds around a bit. I wouldn't pull anything large through here just because the turns are kind of tight. But a tent, van, car, and maybe a small trailer if you know how to maneuver it well. Site number 9 is on the smaller side. Tent, car, van, possibly a small trailer if you can maneuver it well. Site 11 and 12 share an entrance. 12 is to the left. You can see some people camping there. I'm going to go up and show you 11. This site is smaller and only suitable for tent, car, or van camping. Somebody made a swing here. And that, again, to the right is site number 12. Site number 13 is way up this tiny little trail. I hope no one's up here. Site 13 would only be suitable for a tent. You would park at the bottom and walk your way up. I'm not sure where my video is of the site 14, but I believe 14 and 15 are side by side and may also share an entrance if I remember right. But it does kind of weave in and out and probably would only be suitable for a small trailer, tent, van, or car, just because of the tight turns. To the right is site number 16. Site 17 is small. You may be able to get a small trailer back here if you're able to move this log here, but otherwise tent, car, or van camping. It has a short, nice trail in the back that leads up to a 2-track. Site 18 is small and good for tent, car, or van camping. This is where the 2-mile stretch ends at West Forest Trail Road. Now we turn around and head back to camp. Joe tells Brian they're just going for a short walk before heading to Hamlin Lake. There are 2 or 3 camping spots on the little road leading up to Hamlin Lake that are free that we just found. And if you have kayaks, that would be the perfect spot to be. We learned a little bit about wild rice and also learned that there are some monster fish in this lake. It tastes a little bit like an Oreo. After 3 short days, it's time to pack up and head home. I always take care of the inside, while Joe takes care of the outside. I was very excited to get my 100th bird, which was the oven bird. I've never even heard of that bird before. But also, I was able to add 6 more birds to my life list. So that was exciting for me. I'm telling you, I'm going to be so mad if I fall. No,